Good afternoon and welcome to Allergic to Stupidity on February the 3rd. Tomorrow's the great day for the tariffs to set in. And things have been happening, which it's going to be 4 years of this, guys. I listen to some of my YouTubers, which some of them I take with a grain of salt. Very much they hate Trump, so everything Trump does is wrong and terrible, and etc. And on some issues, I agree, but they're a little over the top on it, so I take them with a grain of salt. But as one said, there's so much coming out that you can't keep up with it, which is distracting. It's a redirect. And that partially is so, I don't think it's an intended plan thing, but it's resulting in that we're not seeing all the other crap that's happening and coming down. However, what happened this morning as I was getting my oil changed on my car was I overheard a conversation, and one of the servicemen was laughing because the White House had just come out with a statement that saying the reason President Trump broke the trade agreement, because that's what he did, he broke a trade agreement, was because it was an unfair trade agreement, which I promptly screamed across the room and went, BS! You might not like it. You don't have to like the trade agreement. I'm sure there's things about that trade agreement the Canadian people didn't like or the Mexican people didn't like. But it was signed, sealed, and delivered. Therefore, there's the trade agreement. If you don't like it, go back to the negotiating tables and you renegotiate. You don't just break it. But it was that he had the nerve, or White House had the nerve to say this was unfair trade agreement. Which brings me to one of my least favorite words in the whole world, and that's the word fair. And the reason I don't like it is people will go, oh, well, life's not fair. You just deal with it. Life's not fair. Well, and they'll point out that, Prince William was born into royalty and I was born into middle class. That's not fair. Well, it's not a fair or unfair. My parents were here and I was born, and Prince William's parents were there and they were born. It's not fair. He got divorced. His parents are divorced. Well, why is that fair or unfair? It's not. It's just what happened. Fear is not something we can apply to inanimate objects or even animals. So my cat sees a mouse running across the front yard. That mouse was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and my cat now has a play toy. It's not that my cat has decided I'm going to pick on him because he's purple or green. That mouse was in the wrong spot at the wrong time. That's it. Grand total. Nothing more. And that's one of the reasons I hate the word fair, is because people don't use it properly. So when Donald Trump says this is unfair, that trade agreement was unfair, it was fair because everybody signed it and everybody was following the trade agreement. And as long as everybody followed the trade agreement, everything was fair because everybody was being treated exactly the same. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not fair. Fair is a human trait. Can't put it to anything else. Okay? You may not like the fact that my car just broke down, but it didn't, but example, that the car just broke down. That's a shit happens in life moment. So he's mad because Canada is retaliating. The premiers are standing up screaming. I'm sure I doubt it's got his ears, but there's a major movement right across the country about buying Canadian. Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again, we should be buying Canadian first anyways. And so now he's trying to say, well, I had to break it. Let's gaslight. Let's blame it on somebody else. No, you didn't have to break it. You may have said, I want to go back to the negotiating table and tweak some things out that I don't like. But no. And it was fair. It was decided by all three parties. So, my pet peeve, the word I don't like, fair. And he's not being fair. He's not treating everybody the same. So now that the Canadians and the Mexicans, but the Mexicans have made a compromise to push it off by 1 month. The Canadians go, no, that's not happening. BC Premier has taken all liquor off the shelves as of midnight tonight. LCBO already, there's shots of the LCBOs have already removed the American booze off the shelf. And it's basically, you broke the contract, therefore it is fair that I break, that I don't follow it. You're not going to follow the tariff, the trade agreement, then I don't have to follow the trade agreement either. Fair is fair. Everybody being treated the same? Yes, everybody's being treated the same. Which is one of the reasons I like marking math, because 2 plus 2 is 4. It's simple. If I'm showing you, I telling my students they have to show me every single step, then they're gonna get the marks for showing me every single step. And if you don't show me every single step, then you lose marks. Make it simple, straightforward. So I am backing every premier that's pulling stuff off the shelves. And right now he's sitting here saying, well, this isn't fair. Well, the problem now is going to be we can't trust him anymore. And I think that's one of those sort of, I feel for the prime minister, whether it's whatever leader takes over for Justin Trudeau, and then after the election in the fall, whatever prime minister we have then, I feel sorry for them because they can't trust Trump. He's already shown that he will break tariffs, trade agreements if he doesn't like them. He's now threatening the EU. Like, give me a break. So, anyways, now it's my Screaming Mimi. Not even a cuppa today, just my Screaming Mimi before I head out for students. That the comment that came up this morning about the word fair. He's not being fair. He's not being fair to us. He's not being fair to the Mexicans. He's not even being fair to his own people. There you go. I've had my Screaming Mimi rant for today. It really was a rant. Take care.